If you're flying in the next 24 to 72 hours, stop scrolling. You need to hear this. I am a 20-year plus flight attendant. I've been in the game a very long time. I've been through a lot of meltdowns due to weather, and mainly weather, but delays, cancellations, you name it. I've been there, seen it, and lived through it to tell the story. What I want to do is run off a quick list of things that you should know, things that you can do, tools that you can use if you absolutely have to travel, which I would not recommend because it's going to drain you physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. And so you have to weigh out the cost of rescheduling your trip if it's possible. I know sometimes you have to get where you have to go. And so, first of all, you want to pack your patience and understanding that when these types of situations happen, where you have a winter storm in the southern states, I know the storm has moved up north into the northern parts a bit more, but it's still northern states that are not used to dealing with the amounts of snow. I mean, even the cities and states that do get snow are not used to dealing with the amounts that they're predicting. And so with that said, you can expect that the airports are going to be scrambling and struggling to stay on top of the weather so that the planes can take off and land safely. That's number one. And then you have the airlines that are working feverishly to pull together so many moving pieces, so many pieces to the puzzle. You have the crew, you have the aircraft, you have the ground crew, you have all these different parts that are moving to make this happen, to hold it together in the midst of chaos. And so if you have to travel pack, you're understanding that everything is in chaos mode and people are going to be overworked, working long hours, and it's just going to be a lot to deal with. So pack your patience and try your best to plan ahead. I would even suggest looking at rental car options. A lot of them, you can rent a car and cancel with no penalties. As far as the hotel, you need that 24-hour cancellation notice, I believe. But just have some backup plans. Some, meaning more than one, multiple. Have backup plans. And there are apps. There are apps that you can use to kind of stay on top of things. And I have them here. You got Flight Radar, Flight Board, My Radar, the Weather Channel, and Weather Now. Okay, let me show you real quick one that the Flight Radar will give you an idea of what's going on at any given point in time. And I want you to look at this. Now this is an Android, so keep that in mind that some of these apps might not be available for iPhone. This is these are all the planes at any given moment. These are active flights. And then another app that I use often is Flight View. Flight View, you can look up, hold on a sec. You can look up flights and it will give you the status of the flight. It's going to tell you if it's taken off, if it's delayed, and sometimes the information will be halfway accurate where it'll update, so you'll kind of have an idea of what's going on with your flight. In a meltdown, and I call it a meltdown because it's system-wide, and a meltdown is not a guarantee that it will be accurate, but it's something, you know, it's something better than nothing, basically. Let me just plug in an airport code here so you can take a look. Okay, so these are the flights. You put in the date, you put in the cities, your destination, to and from, and then it's going to give you the list of flights. You find your flight, you click on it, and then it's going to give you more detail. It'll tell you the status of the flight. So that's something that you can use to just try to stay on top of things. Now let's get back to the aircraft with the tail number. So each tail number, each plane has a route that is scheduled to fly for the entire day. It'll start in one city with passengers. It'll fly to the next city, drop those off, pick up new ones, and continue the process on throughout the day. With this winter storm coming through, my thoughts and my experiences are when you're starting the day out delayed because of the weather, because they're scrambling, working to get the runways cleared so that the planes can take off and land safely, as I said. And then you have the issues of, can everybody get to work that needs to work these flights to get them in the air? That takes a lot of people. You got your ground crew, you got the flight crew, you got the managers, you got everybody. And if the roads are messed up, they can't get to the airport. So it's just so many pieces to the puzzle. Then you have the flight attendants and the pilots. The plane can't leave without the required number of crew members mandated by the FAA. And so another thing to consider is that the flight crew have a window of time that they can work. And after that window closes, they have to replace the crew members. And oftentimes the planes are grounded, the flights are canceled when they cannot get new crew members to replace the ones that are timed out. Just thinking about it gives me chills, because you know, you get into this mode where your adrenaline is rushing, and it can be very taxing. So pack your patience, pack your understanding of all these things going on. You want to pack extra underwear, socks, blankets, portable batteries to charge your phone, cords, extra cords. You want to pack snacks. You're going to have to buy your water in the airport, your drinks, because you're not going to be able to get them through TSA. So pack some extra money. You're going to need it. Another thing to consider is, with these storms, the hotels are going to book up fast. Rental cars are going to book up fast. So if you can take another mode of transportation, I would suggest it, but the problem is that ground transportation is going to be just as challenging as air travel because of the roads. So I would say book that hotel, and there's a risk that you might lose your money, and you'll be sleeping. Well, you'll lose your money if you get where you need to go. If not, you'll have a nice bed to sleep in. Hopefully you can get a ride to the airport, or you're going to be sleeping or attempting to sleep in the airport. I've tried it a few times, and there is no sleeping in the airport unless you can sleep through anything. Okay, but back to things that I think would be helpful. Pack entertainment, things to do, and patience. Understand that this is out of our hands. The weather is God's work. You know, it's weather, it's nature. It's gonna happen. And unfortunately, you have a flight planned and maybe a vacation or a need to travel by air in the midst of a storm. Post your comments and questions in the comments below. Ask me questions that I will attempt to answer for you. I'm thinking of any last tidbits. Let me look at my notes. Any last tidbits I can give you to, let me see, to stay on track and to just keep your mind stable and the stress low, because yeah, take your battery charger, because we love our phones, our devices. So take that extra charger, charge it up, make sure it's charged, screenshot all your information so it's readily available, all your flight info. The best source of information is going to come from the airline, directly from the airline's website. The workers at the airport are going to be overwhelmed with attempting to answer questions that they don't have the answers to. Because when you think about the gravity of what they are juggling, multiple aircraft, and when you have delays, everything is scheduled. This flight has a route. When it lands, everything is scheduled. And when that plan deviates, everything is thrown off. You need to be able to get into the gate to deplane. But if everything is awry, they are literally taking flights by priority. And they assign flights a priority based on a number of things. And so just understand that it's literally a roll of the dice. And pray. Pray. Be patient. Watch some movies. Play some games. Read some books. And notice I'm saying multiple, because it could extend into multiple days. Because once the storm clears, then you have thousands of people that are displaced that need to be flown to their desired destination. There are only so many seats on the flight, so they have to fill up flights until they get people back on track, on top of continuing on with the scheduled flights as best they can. I mean, when you try to wrap your mind around it, it's exhaustive. And I've always wondered how they manage it, because it is just a huge undertaking. And so I hope I was able to shine a little bit of light onto just what goes on behind the scenes, and to give you a better understanding of how you can prepare better, plan for chaos. So again, leave your questions, comments, share your experiences and tips you may have in the comments below, and I will take a look and respond if the demand is great enough. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video, travel related travel tips. Thanks for watching.